Are these guys kind of heroes back in Mexico?
Of course they're heroes. Mexico.
How come?
Because
People hate the government so much?
well, because they're the Robin Hoods. So as opposed to what you may think people view them as, they're folk heroes because they're the ones that build the schools. They're the ones that give electricity to towns. They're the ones that pave the roads. They're the ones that if your mom's dying, you go to them and they'll pay for their surgery. And they're known for this.
Really?
Yes. So if you want help, people in Mexico don't go to the government; they go to the local drug dealer.
At the same time, they what? They kill people with the drugs and just
Okay, so let me put it to you this way. Let's say I hope your mother's still with us. It's your mother's.
No,
okay,
she's not.
Okay, so and I don't want to get into it too much, but let's say I had a way to save your mother previous to her dying. Would you care how I did it?
If doctors can't?
No, well, yeah,
If only you can help me?
If only I can help you.
I would do everything.
And let's say the doctors. Let's say the doctors wouldn't afford. Let's say the surgery or whatever your mom needed a treatment to be able to continue living was out of your cost.
And government says fuck you.
And the government says fuck you. And I help your mother live. Do you care if I kill or sell drugs?
No, I wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't care. Same thing in Mexico. So when the government is not assisting people and they need electricity, they need water, they need somebody's mother's dying, the kids are going to college and they can't afford it, and the drug dealers are paying for it, and they're doing it out of the kindness of their heart. By the way, just so you know, the majority of these men, as crazy as it sounds, when you meet them, I've got to meet, because I come from a very well-known family in Mexico. Ironically, I come from a matter of fact, the biggest drug dealer in Mexico right now was raised with my uncles and my grandparents and my mom. So he's the biggest now. Chapo has not been the biggest for a long time. He's just the most known one. But the biggest drug dealer in all of Mexico right now that controls 22 states out of the 43 states in Mexico was born and raised with my family. He's from our small town of 300 people. So when you actually, and I know a lot of the associates and whatnot, I don't mingle with them, but when you grew up in the same environment, you just know them,
yeah.
Right? And they're not bad people. They obviously chose a different career, but they're good-hearted people. I know it sounds kind of crazy.
That's a paradox.
Yeah, it is. Kind of like your abusive father. Why do you love your dad? He's a fucking alcoholic and he beats the shit out of you.
Yeah.
But I still love him. It's the same concept. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
The rest of the world, he's a piece of shit father, but to you, he's your hero. I'm going to say you in general.
I got you.
It's the same concept, right? Yes, to you, they're, this killer and criminal and drug trafficker. Well, what you don't know is how many times he saved one of our mothers or our grandmothers or our aunts or sent one of our kids to college or when the government was trying to take our properties away because we couldn't afford, they paid off the house. They paid with nothing, asking for nothing in return. So they are the folk heroes of Mexico, and they will probably be the heroes forever because they're the ones that do more for the people than anybody else.
If you like this short clip, you are more than welcome to watch the full episode on my other YouTube channel called Apollo the Original.